One of this best of 5 qualifies you not only for Madrid, not only for the finals weekend, but also for the World Championships over in China.
He punishes him, he pushes him to his limits.
Really threatens him throughout the game. Well, let's see what the audience think of both of the threats of these teams at the moment. KC versus G2, who will win? I feel it hasn't updated, or it's just very, very even. As Skewen and LeBron look for a fight in the mid lane. They're jumping onto Vladdy, who does flash away, but a good knockback by Skewen, who will get first blood to G2. No real escape for Vladdy after he burned that flash.
Oh, Vladdy had done so well at managing his wave, but all it takes is one mistake, and Caps on LeBlanc pounces. Is walking into Yikes, though.
He's going to get hooked up here. Doesn't have the Mimic, but does have his flash. There's a chain coming out as LeBron comes in just to make sure his mid laner gets away. Drake
takes a lot of it, so you can understand why they haven't exactly rushed it so far. Especially with bot lanes on the other side of the map, they often be a lot of your DPS.
Right, coming in, LeBron with the Shattering Strike, needs to dodge away from the Impale, uses the heal for the movement speed, but is slowed up by Yike. LeBron now on the wrong side of the Rift. The hook lands as well from Targamas. Hansama trying to trade back in. Yike still holding on to that Impale as Hansama is able to survive. Keeper's verdict. No one guilty. Skewen lands the slam into the wall. Yike down to 200 HP, and Hansama's given so much time just to mow him down. Yike dies. G2
does have a splash back now. Maybe you can use that to brawl out against LeBlanc. Maybe walk his wave down here. They do want to contest.
Skewen already has that dragon down to 2,000 HP. Should be an easy enough secure. No real contest there. It becomes harder for her to step in. KC are posturing around this though, Nymera.
They are. Herald isn't started. Remember that you do have the LeBlanc and the Kaiser, which can fly to one side of the fight. KC must approach at the right time.
Keeper's verdict. Impale was stopping. He gets knocked back! He's yielded to oblivion! And the question is now, can Skewen escape? He goes in, has to flash away. The shockwave lands onto 3. It's Skewen, Broken Blade, and LeBron retreating out. KC will take the Herald. Karna's looking for lives. LeBron has to flash away. He's burning. Should have the movement speed to get out of this one. Karna pops the Flame Splitter again, but he doesn't have a scrap shield in time, and the remount from LeBron will be enough to escape.
Nothing brings a G2 holiday! They did.
Yep, she was definitely behind them, and KC from that will not only take the Rift, they'll take the Drake. LeBron sneaking in towards this top side, seeing if he can help Caps get on the board. Only sitting at 0-0-1 on this LeBlanc. He'll dash away. LeBlanc still behind. Skewen waiting here. They'll look for Targamas first. Vladdy now realizes he has to flash away. Magnus still coming out. There's the TP as well. Death Charge used onto Caps. Keeper's verdict gets the knockback, and Targamas will sacrifice himself for his mid laner. Good job by the support to mean that he could survive for a little bit longer, but the charge comes in from G2. A good shockwave from Vladdy will catch onto 2. The dive continues as now Caps is the one tanking the tower. Impale goes wide. Broken Blade will dismount onto Skull. The aggro switches over to Skewen. The equalizer comes down. Broken Blade's going to flash away as he looks to dash out of Yike's clutches. But the pincers collapse, and Broken Blade goes down in the end. A 2-for-1 exchange.
A 2-for-1. G2 getting the
Targamas making sure that Skewen doesn't have an easy avenue to approach this. Skewen's going to start to walk in, but that is already gone. Depth charge onto the enemy jungler. Atakan secured for KC. They sneak it away. Great setup overall.
Yeah, KC just group up, take it down, and G2 don't have a great answer. They do take the bot turret, and they push in a little bit towards mid as well, so they get some tower damage for the objective trade. Any other kind of fights coming through? We're all sticking around on top side.
LeBron looking for Vladdy. Kalisz goes in with the Valkyrie. Exhaust goes down, but Kalisz just one-shots him. Caps diving in. The chains will find their man. Slam into the wall from Skewen as well. So we see Targamas fall alongside his bot side brethren. Hansama having to flash away from Karna, who's overheated. But it doesn't matter. His autos will do all the work. Broken Blade finds a cowardly Skull to remount, but Skull immediately runs away as KC finds 3 in the play.
G2 try and punish KC after the Atakan, but KC are ready. G2 don't get the clean play, and now suddenly Herald into mid lane. There's going to be a double charge potentially coming through from that. KC get a huge advantage. You have crossed that Atakan, and then the play afterwards too. We're just saying, you know, the Pels were even. It's gone from 24 from 7 after that point. Even a charge into the bot lane. So
in the side lane, as he'll be able to take this top lane tier 1.
G2 will get themselves a decent amount of tower gold on towards Caps LeBlanc. So I think this was pretty easy to see on the scoreboard, folks. We have 2 main characters here. We have a Rumble, who is very, very fed. We also have a Caps LeBlanc, with a death cap as well. A fancy hat making him that more scary. We have our heroes and our villains, I suppose, on the other side of it.
I mean, his name is Caps. Obviously,
he's got to get something on that head of his.
They've got to have at least one headpiece. As the Drake has been started here by G2. KC TPing in as they look for the fight. Broken Blade around the wings here. Yike going in for it. Equalizer down. LeBron's going to jump away from it. The slow onto Caps, though, not enough. He's going to distort away. Hansama hooked up, though, as KC find another. Caps, chains don't connect. The exhaust down. Yike's going to chase him. Skewmont jumps onto Kalist, but is all on his lonesome because BB has gone home. Skewmont, with the steadfast presence movement speed, should be able to get out of here. Vladdy and Kana trying to cut him off at the pass.
Oh, they're teleporting.
TP comes out from Vladdy. I mean, you might just give a free ticket away for Skewmont here. He can dash onto you and then flash over the shockwave if it comes out. Vladdy does get the slow with the dissonance, and that will be enough to spell the end of the Poppy.
G2 get the objective, but they do not get the fights. They don't find their way onto any of the carries.
About this Rumble, 1,000 gold ahead, 2 items complete. Kalist is doing the same on this Corki. Even if he's dying early on, Lebrov has a big flank here, but KC are wise to it. Magnustorm coming in. There's the Killer Instinct as well as they dive onto Kalist, who flashes away. But now Summer just dives to the tower. Skewmont impaled and cooked underneath the turret. Broken Blade now charging away. Cowards, you cry! As Scarlet runs away himself. Equalizer down. Ishtel's impact from Yike. It's gonna be 3 for KC. As G2 took a fight, they just weren't ready for.
G2 run head first into the blue wall and into the blue mid lane outer turret. That's going to open up the Baron with so many CC'd under that. Just meant his team fight was completely over. Great response from KC on the defense.
And now G2 staring down their first defeat of summer. I think the questions as to which group was harder have truly been answered between the two of them, as KC are really leaving G2 at a massive deficit. Broken Blade hasn't really had much impact on this Kled. We saw the eclectic draft from G2 and wondered, you know, had they been cooking? Is it burnt? Is the meat skewer just raw for them?
No, this is like the overcooked level when you have to throw things between the 2 bits of the balloon. This is maybe a little bit of an awkward one, but yet they needed a larger laning lead. They needed earlier game lead, really. They've not really been able to get that, and you can see KC have just stood strong, taken the beating where they could in the early game, came out pretty okay from it, actually. Groups up, G2, their power of their champions really diminished after that point. Dragon spawning now, G2, I suppose, could look towards some kind of freak steal, look towards Soul later. KC aren't going to easily give that to them.
Caps looking for a flank here, but the rest of G2 just aren't here to respond. Kana level 17 as the chains go wide. Vladdy 17 as well, obviously has picked up one of those levels from his Rod of Ages, but you can see Caps a little bit desperate, looking through the enemy jungle, clearing out vision, trying to find a flank position in the last moment. Caps still looking for that flank again, but Targamas here, putting control wards down is another tier 2. And Skewmont with the steadfast presence was looking to block that dredge line connecting. Caps will clear out a ward, but there's another one in its place already. And now, KC are beginning to collapse. Caps going to lead them on a merry chase, just as LeBlanc can do. I expect KC will eventually call off going for this fight.
Yeah, it's a bit hard to chase them down, but you can see G2, they're all about the smoke and mirrors, and yeah, it's either that or a teleport out. Choosing the teleport.
Vladdy put the ball in the wrong spot. Can't really blame him for that. TP out from Caps. As he will talk about this often in tournaments. It's like, do you want to be checked early on? Do you want to find someone in your group that really challenges you? Is it better to wait for playoffs so you can ride the momentum high? As Targamas is chasing onto Broken Blade here. Charge away, but Targamas flashes in front of it. Depth charge coming out as well. The Keeper's Verdict being channeled by Skewmont. He'll yeet the Scorpion to Timbuktu, and Targamas dies for it. Kalist almost takes down Skewmont, but can't quite get the final shot. Broken Blade, though, will not manage to escape. In the end, Targamas takes it. And KC get another on the board in a 1-for-1 exchange.
1-for-1, but KC have the wave and they can keep pushing forwards. And yeah, he was yeeted out, but he's still back, flashing forwards.
Yeah, Impale going wide there as Hansama flashes away himself. KC know that Caps is not here. The TP being invested by Vladdy to make sure that he stops that tier 2 from falling. They'll take an inhibitor, Caps dashing away in that top side. Kana trying to turn this around with the equalizer, just forces G2 away from making any subsequent plays. The way that trade has gone. Hansama just finishing up his 3rd item where there were 4 on Kalist. It's a terminus for Hansama, but maybe end of the road for G2, at least in this game. Lebrov caught out a little bit by Targamas. Caps jumping onto Kalist, will land the chains, but doesn't get much more. And you can see an order with that Trinity Force, enough to take Caps down to about 500 HP. The dive in with the killing instinct onto Vladdy, but he's so tanky. Broken Blade now left on his lonesome, has to flash the wall, but Carter will not let him escape. Burns him up in the jungle. And now Skumon needs to look for a miracle steal on this Baron. Broken Blade 50 seconds away from respawning. Vladdy's going to try and keep Skumon at bay. Targamas going to join that foray.
They still have Shockwave. After everything's been used, they can still just ward them off.
Yeah, it's just gone. There's the hook going out. Skumon dives onto Vladdy. Equalizer as well. Vladdy falling so low. He will die in the end. To Skumon's damage, he'll flash away. The Baron secured for KC, but they'll only have it on 4.
I mean, they still managed to get the thing to play around this 2G2. Half out from the jungle. It's not a great start.
Broken Blade still has a quarter of the timer on his cooldown for his charge and no TP. He's going to have to leave that super minion in the base, hitting those Nexus towers. Yike going forward. Caps look for Kana. Flashes away, but the stopwatch will stop the chains. Magnet Storm onto 3 here. Impale just short of Hans Summer, but Lebrov's the first one to go pop, and Broken Blade still not in the fight. The Dragon, the next target for G2, is Skumon, and Hans Summer try to burst it down before KC can react. Skumon with the charge back onto Yike. The Baron secured by Yike. He wins the smite fight. And now KC continue to advance. Broken Blade jousting forward. Hans Summer low. Skumon the same. Caps dashes in, but just lands the chains onto Targamas. Broken Blade, Scarlet has left him. And so will the last beat of his heart. Broken Blade down. KC pushing forward. Equalizer just clips Hans Summer. The redemption coming out as well just to heal him up, at a TP behind. Can Skumon defend Hans Summer here? Targamas, depth charge. Skumon needs to stand in the way, but he doesn't get there in time. The killer instinct, an instinct only for the grave. Caps tries to get another chains, but it's only onto Yike. It doesn't even get through his shield. KC just marching through the base at this point. Skumon slammed into his own Nexus, and G2 are left rattled.
KC, a real reality check for G2. A roar of life from the blue wall. What a dominant game one.
Caps trying to do everything he can to find anything out of this game, but he'll lose his life at the end of it. The blue wall stands tall as KC go 1-0.
Kind of happy to do so. You lock in that Kasanze, and it's not a great time against the Aurora, but you're in this position where you need to play a disengaged tank for your team, and potentially a Riftmaker later on as well. It's so disgusting. You can see how much damage has been done there just by wailing on the melee. Same in mid lane for the Victor, of course, there too. But this is one of the reasons why the Aurora is favored into tanks. Might actually see a contest around this Dragon now. KC are quite intent on approaching.
You can see Vladdy's quite a way away, currently only near the red buff. Hans Summer forced back a little bit because control were down in the Tribush. Targamas goes in, exhaust onto Skumon. Smite fight, Yike won the last one of these. Skumon looking for the smite, and it's Yike again! He's just Skumon's father, it seems. Lebrov hit with the Ultra Shock Laser, and it's a perfect execution from Vladdy that kills off the cow.
Oh, welcome back, Vladdy. Gets himself the first kill of the game on the Akali. We were a little bit worried.
Skumon does hit level 7 now, doesn't have his smite, whereas Yike has held on to his. G2, this is cinema. Like, they're just watching. They have gone to the movies, they bought a ticket, they bought the popcorn, and they're just spectating as KC take the 2 grubs.
I like to call it Safari League of Legends. Yeah. Well, we've got an animal going in right there. The cow's on the rampage.
Goes back out with the Cyclone there. Lebrov going in, pops that Unbreakable Will. Arcane Storm coming out as well, but not really much happening there for G2. Lebrov went for the engage with the Hex Flash. Skumon's going to dash away. Targamas dancing in with that grand entrance. Cap's still looking for more. Remember, no ultimates available now as Broken Blade is just killing off Kana. Kana has no ult, has to flash BB on the chase, going all out. Oh! Can't quite land the Intofos. And because of that, Kana survives.
Close run stuff. Potential of a continued fight up here. I think he'll finally defuse. And you know what? I was just checking the damage numbers from that. I'm not going to lie, not seen this one before. I'm not sure if it's been popping up in solo queue. We'll look at that one in the background. But Gliss, looking for those poke angles. Yeah, you sit down in that bottom left there, actually. Just look down. No, it switched over to the Karmine. All right, it switched away from it. You can see it was there. Hang on, Vladdy goes in.
Yeah, Vladdy looking for this, but he has to dash away and dives to Summonary. There from Keps.
Okay, good reason to go away from that, Zeri. Vladdy goes down. Had the first blood, now is his first team's death as well. Fight over the Raptors. So you can see the extra damage through it. Can get the POV of Vladdy for this play. What happened here? So he jumps forwards, tries to get good trades down. Of course, has the Conqueror for the extended trades, but sees the Shinzai come out of Fog of War, realizes, yeah, bit toast.
Maybe it was an auto attack.
So you often use a lot of your flashes as your ultimates and makes it harder the next time. Vladdy is on the flank. They do want to contest.
That's a pincer movement here by KC. Camp's going to try and keep Vladdy at bay. Yike goes into the pit, but the smite comes down before he's in range. One way not to lose the smite fight is to have it dead before the enemy jungler arrives. It's a Hex Soul for us, a Drake apiece so far in this game. And I think Kalis may have even picked up a tower plate while all of that was going on, realizing that the fight wasn't really going to begin. Skewmon there on a control wall will start up this red. Immediate response from Targamas, you can see running from that bot lane, and Skewmon realizes he has to vacate the press. He managed to steal it away. Labrov has that unbreakable will. There with the teleports in. As we see G2 still on the Drake. Hexgate from Kana. Caps turns onto him immediately behind Summer. Already half HP. The Redemption will heal him up. There's the quickness onto the backline. Vladdy flashing forward. And Summer down. KC find the first. Broken Blade's going to go all out and pull across the wall. Kana, but they just don't have the damage on him right now. Labrov escapes with the sliver. Kana goes down. Vladdy dashes away with the perfect execution. Labrov gets taken out by an Ultra Shock laser, I believe, out of Kalist. And in the end, a 2-for-1 exchange in favor of KC.
KC find the flashless carry of Hans Sammer, and that Sivir is put to dirt pretty quickly. KC, we said they were not going to be leaving these Dragons uncontested. They've really set a goal on making sure G2 can't just slide into easy Dragons to allow them to scale up later. Dragon to the side of KC, 2 for them now. G2 did not do...
Skewmon was able to kill off Kana, and now the Atakan begun by G2. 1,000 gold in the hole. Hex Flash away from Labrov.
Oh, good grab
KC
kill.
only have 3 players here, and that Atakan is already down to 3,000 HP. Yikes used the decoy. The Atakan secured. G2 will look to try and escape. Skewmon with the Crescent Guard. The dive in from Vladdy immediately knocked up. A good Pathmaker will knock 2 back. Vladdy and Yikes dived into their demise. And G2 are looking for more. Caps chasing Kalist. No flash on him, but he's able to run away with that extra movement speed. Dash across the wall. G2 get a little bit of control back in the game.
Look, this series has largely been about Canada so far, but BB holds the door shut. Fantastic W. Lavrov now in danger, though.
Yeah, caught out. He's going to try and knock Targamas across the wall here, but that wall is just too thick. Kalist gets another. Kana coming in from the side. The Rift charges in for a mid lane tower. It's the first of the game for either team. G2 secure it. It will get another charge in. A little bit of damage onto that tier 2.
So G2, big series of plays.
Flicker Blades and Yuntals. 3 items is really where these AD carries come online, but 2 is enough for them. Alongside that, Caps farming up on this Victor Kalist. Oh, the exhaust down as well. The Arcane Storm's going to take him out. Targamas trying to get in with the quickness as well, but he just can't get there quickly enough. And that's what I was talking about. Kalist is dead. You have no damage. Caps with a double. A brace for him. And brace for impact, KC. Kana dies under his tower. And G2 might even be thinking about the win.
I mean, you blink and you miss it. The blue wall goes red. Great pickoff from Labrov. Splats Kalist as he tries to wall right. And the bot tower falling as well.
Swing for them. 500 gold ahead. Underneath that tier 2 tower in mid. Now going to be 3.7k. Their advantage, 3.9 now, in fact. What have we got coming up next? We've got 40 seconds on the Hex. Hex Drake will be third for KC. A minute on the Baron. G2 need to retreat, spend their gold, and then get out on the map.
Yeah, so actually staying quite a long time has now left them in a bit of a problem because they haven't been able to retreat.
Labrov has to burn the flash, but he's going to burn down anyway. Kalist gets the kill, as you say. They lost their timer. They lost their tempo by staying around for that
on the map, say, let's take these turrets. And now they're behind in the setup for the Dragon. KC might be able to take a fight here.
Labrov does have a TP, though, off the Unsealed Spellbook, so he can get into the fight, and he still has his ultimate. No flash for him as the Drake is down to 6,000, 5,000 now. Vladdy has a massive flank, and there's no vision. Labrov finally puts a ward in there. Between worlds goes Kana, immediately locked up, knocked up, and taken out. The smite goes down, and it's this time. This Skewmon finds his mark. Yike getting chased out as well. It'll be a 3-for-0 with Drake alongside it, as G2 take total control of the game.
Yeah, Kana looks to go between worlds and only finds the
Gonna come
underworld.
and help out his team secure this as quickly as possible, but I wouldn't be surprised if KC do a poke, do a prod, have a look, decide against it. G2 will get the Baron. Look at that damage from Caps, man. 24k. This guy, like, G2 have missed 1 world of the last 9. And it's whenever find something on the map, you can see Kana down towards that bottom side, just trying to get an objective bounty. There's a tower there, it's relatively low, can take it pretty quickly. Does have the TP as well. But Broken Blade escorting in the wave in the mid lane. This will be an inhibitor. Ultra Laser dodged by G2. It goes between the uprights. Kana will get that objective bounty for KC. They try and eke some gold back in their favor. Pathmaker out from Broken Blade to dodge away from the grand entrance, and that's the first inhibitor going to go down in the top lane. G2 then turn their attentions towards mid. Karna continues pushing, double in hit from the push for G2.
Feels a bit bad having to take an outer turret for double inhibitor trade. That's what they have to get, though. There's no way you can wave clear against this, and you probably can't even stay there.
That's about all you can muster at this moment. G2 pushing in the last remaining wave. There's the TB flank, but they'll see it. G2 turn with the on the hunt. Broken Blade with the path maker. Bring the Cyclone onto a couple of his teammates. Targum's going in as well. The Frost's already killed off Yike. Hansama will die on the back line, but G2 don't care about their AD carry anymore. They've already found 4. And Karna likely to hit the floor as well, pulled out with the all-out. G2 still chasing. Caps has to use the stopwatch to drop the tower aggro. Karna dies for the ace, and we're going to 1-1.
Attention to anyone who's currently residing in blue side base. There is a storm warning. Caps drops the ult, and KC drop with it. Towers in their sights.
This is what we wanted from this series. This is what we wanted from the LEC Summer Playoffs. G2 and KC neck and neck after 2. Hopefully we go all 5.
Deathless is the man in the very volatile top lane at points. If the Yorick gets ahead of the Gnar, it's a real pain. You hit the morning mist, and even Mini Gnar doesn't like kiting away from that. You get hit by the slow. It's a real pain to the walls.
Can be also, Caps getting prio in the mid lane means that you have to have Vladdy clear out that wave, then come across. Does have the hero's entrance if a fight began, but Yike is a mile away, so it will be first straight through the game. The first grub. Vladdy looking for that Justice Punch into Taunt combination. KC trying to play this on multiple angles. They jump in onto Skewmond. There's the taunt, and down goes Skewmond. Absolutely assassinated.
Point and click into the taunt. KC an easy jungle kill. Served up
it's
on a
little bit tricky for him to escape such a situation. Kalista and Targumus here, standing on the back side of the bush, but it hit with a Mantrid in a flame, and that's quite a bit of damage. Grand Starfall coming out. LeBron with an early flash. Kalista chasing it as well. There's the Aqua Prison. And now Lebrov is sleeping with the fishes.
Yikes strikes. So
If
consistent.
he's in blue when you Grand Starfalls your face, it's like, oh, well, we couldn't see him. So you have to just be so cognizant. You shouldn't have gone in at all. Lebrov looking for the chains here. Skewmon's going to go in with a follow-up, and Kalist goes pop. The Cataclysm there just to seal the deal. Skewmon takes it. Kalist overstepping, thinking the Karma was squishier than she was.
Yeah, well, AD carries, they should know that kind of skill set. The fact that Kalista's the first one in and the first one dead is really going to put KC behind if they want to contest this. Yike is hanging around. I don't really think there's much you can look for here, though.
I think it's more just to try and gate G2 off from this mid lane wave. One plate will go over to Vladdy. Caps flashing for the Rune Prison. Broken Blade here as well. The Morning Mist, Dark Procession. Yike does have flash. He holds onto it for an absolute age. As Skewmond flags and drags in the flank. Caps is in the top lane, pushing in, trying to get more gold in his pocket.
Dragon's been started too, and Yorick helps you a lot with that. He's pretty good at single target damage, that whole thing he does. G2 going to cleanly get themselves this third dragon and get onto Soul Point, the third one. KC can't contest.
Also be upgraded boots for them. They'll complete the feats of strength. Broken Blade helping out here as their third objective. Maybe just making G2 take this and then go for the dragon yourself to avoid the soul. KC turn back towards it after running down towards the mid lane.
Make a decision,
It's
KC.
a merry-go-round. Grand Starfall coming out as well as Hansama has to dash away. Vladdy going in with the Winds of War as well. The smite goes over to Skewmon, and now KC. They ran away, and perhaps they should have stayed that way. Hero's entrance coming out, but Skewmon dashes forward, and in the midst of the Dark Perception, Yike will fall. Targumus down to 250 HP as Broken Blade looks for the Morning Mist. Lands it onto Vladdy. Kalist on that front line has the flash, has the barrier. The taunt coming out from Vladdy doesn't connect onto anyone, but it does delay. Flash forward from Caps with the Rune Prison. Karna's going to hop on the Brov's head. He's rooted again. The wall doesn't connect. Cataclysm in. And now Vladdy next target for Skewmond. He's taunted. Cat still looking for Kalist underneath the tower, but G2 have just rocketed into the lead.
KC don't make a firm decision, so G2 make it for them. They'll get the Atakan, and because of the kills after, God damn, some good damage onto Kalist, they will get the soul as well. KC lose everything across the map. I understand looking towards the Atakan, but they can't kill it quickly enough, choose to back off, and that is the end of them.
For G2 was clipping Kalist consistently with the Morning Mists.
And now he's at those two items. He has a gold lead, and he has a ton of damage on tower. Shovel comes down, digs up a turret, then a bit of gold. Quite easily, though.
Importantly, Karna just went mega underneath the tower, so G2 know that he doesn't have the rage bars build up. Looks like KC aren't even going to try and contest, as G2 will just sweep away the Baron. Their sixth neutral objective in this game. Baron buff, Cloud Soul, 4K gold lead, LeBron going in, Realm Warp coming out, and goodbye Targumus. Some fresh sushi for G2. I heard they wanted KBBQ, but those plans were cancelled after they lost game 1. KC now trying to defend 4v5. Broken Blade still in that top lane, just going to constantly put the pressure on of the Undertaker.
This is so oppressive from G2. They take one bit of indecision from KC and they rip the entire game apart. It's the whole take an inch. They give them an inch, they take a mile. G2 have taken everything in the last few minutes, and the Red Bull power and power play will keep stacking up time and time again. G2, I mean, they're not stopping here, are they?
You also don't have a huge amount of wave clear as KC. You've got Winds of War with a Riftmaker and a needlessly large rod. You've got Kalist, who is quite short range, can use the culling. They'll clear out the wave in mid, but that tower already down to about 10% HP. Broken Blade pushing forward.
How much value? I'd argue the Realm Warp has been the best used global in the game.
I think one of the issues for KC is when you're in this sort of position, you want a support that can get behind enemy lines and get a couple of wards down. And Nami just isn't the person to do that. They're going to go towards the mid lane, looking for Broken Blade, who walks away from Vlad. He's still stunned up with the Winds of War. Last Right's going to heal him up a little bit, but there is the kill for Kana. G2, meanwhile, pushing through that bot side. Hero's Entrance still available for KC.
Teleport.
If they want to go for more. As you say, TP behind. Vladdy looking for the flank play here. He's going to be on his lonesome for a second. Second TP coming out from Kana, who has the Mega Gnar. Unsummer dives onto Kalist. He's the culling, misses the mystic shot. Targamas forced away as well. There's the Hero's Entrance. Kana on Caps. The Realm Warp trying to get him out, but Caps goes down. Vladdy surviving for an absolute age. As Skumon looks for the engage, dodges away from the taunt, gets the knockup with a flag and drag. Will G2 go for more? It's a 3v4 in KC's favor. In a flame on Targamas. Skumon stepping forward onto Yike. Kalist on his way back out. Targamas almost falling, gets taken out by the auto attack from Hansama. Kana dashing away. Yike trying to kill off LeBron, but the inner flame not enough. Kalist will find him with a double tap to his heart. A good double knockup coming out from Skumon. Kalist dies as well. For a second, it looked like KC had a fingertip back in the game, but G2 closed the door on their fingers.
KC, you can take as many teleports as you want. It's not getting you the angle into that fight. G2, they lose the Yorick, and it does not matter squat. G2 continue their way towards the Nexus.
Kana trying to get back to his base somehow, somewhere, but he just can't do it. Skumon's going to chase him out, and G2, for the first time in the series, will take a lead. They are one win away from Madrid, one win away from their 9th Worlds out of...
Throwing his skill shots on target. That goes towards that Sejuani, and it is going to be that Marco flex down to that support.
Good call on the possible flex. Going for the full flank here. Yike is going to meet him in the bush. They're looking for Kana, but both the junglers will meet up. Broken Blade getting traded on here by Kana. Yike losing the trades to the Volibear, just like we talked about. Kana now needs to run, flashes away from the knockup. Broken Blade should be able to retreat from this. They might turn back onto Kana. They know he's got no flash. The volley with the chase flash forward for the stun and bring down the axe. BB on the board early doors.
Turns out Sion doesn't just cut down trees, cuts down men as well. Good teammates. This is a connoisseur's game of League of Legends at points.
We went from supports not getting any gold because they had to spend it all on wards and such, to now supports not getting any gold because they're never near the minions to actually last hit them.
Isn't that arguably worse? Because it's just so tantalizingly close, and yet it's not
Please let me auto this minion.
The Drake, though, taken by KC.
Getting corrupts as well. They do have a Volibear. Volibear is strong. Doesn't scale fantastically well compared to something like the Sejuani. Now, it's better than it was before in some methods where it really was, well, you get a chem tank and one item. That's really what you achieve in the game. Actually, Yike could go for it.
Yeah, Skumon used the smite here, and Yike knows, oh no, he does steal it. It's just Skumon gets the credit because he got 2 and 3. Have already started the Dragon. AC might just give up the Ghost on this one. I think that's what they'll do. They got the first, they're okay with that. Chem taken by G2. And it's another Cloud Soul to grace the Rift, Alex.
All right, so G coming in too. Real question for me will be when they choose to fight.
Kalist taking a bad trade there. Glacial Fisher going wide. Kalist flashes and cleanses. Targamas stunned up as well. The Arc of Judgment sends him to meet his maker. Skumon on the chase. No sums on Kalist. It's time for a Stormbringer. Doesn't even need the ult. Burns the flash instead. Hits him with the thundering smash, and that's 2 quick kills to G2.
Deadly, and KC do not respect it quite enough. Yunara starts to throw those prayer beads through them. Synult in topside.
Unstoppable Onslaught coming out. Decimating smash. Oh, good knockback by Kana. Still going to be slow. Flash countered with a flash of his own. Kana heals up with the grass. Broken Blade can't look for anything more. recall coming out from Karna. Lebrov falling low here as the heal comes out. Tower falls to Caps. Vladdy on the chase. Yike trying to get in here as well. Has that Glacial Prison, but won't go for it. Currently a 3v4 in favor of G2. And KC just have to settle for the chip damage on the G2 players.
I mean, that was a really intelligent roam over by Caps, knowing, okay, we just won the fight. I am a Ziggs. I can kill this tower. KC, at some point, KC are going to have to start grouping up and using their range advantage. That'll normally be around objectives. My worry is they've given up too much now.
Yeah.
That is my worry. They're going to have to somehow claw their way back into the game, giving up an objective or two. Perhaps doesn't look like that much now, but giving over Herald maybe opens up something like a Herald with a Volibear ult tower dive later on. They don't want to give this up too easily.
But how do you really contest? You don't have completed items on your mid, on your AD carry. You've got Heart Steal. Cool, Yike's getting some stacks, and it will, if he gets enough, scale up through the game, but it's just not damage right now. Yumu's complete on Karna, but he's not there really to do too much right now. Can't even get through the shield on the Scion. And if you're KC, you're like, well, who usually carries us? Karna can be really good. Yike getting caught out. Lebrov trying to flash forward. Stormbringer in from Skewmond. And down goes Yike. G2, Hans Summer here as well. The curtains have opened. The wave not cleared out. Rift Herald coming down. It might just be a tier 2 here, Nymira.
They have the Ziggs. It's the Herald Ziggs charge. They didn't respect the Volibear ult. It's going to be a huge inner turret push.
There it goes. G2 might just try and shepherd this forward. Lebrov could just ride it away. No, Karna says nope.
Car's broken down. Need a replacement. What did Finn call it? They
call the triple.
Broken Blades playing pinball. I didn't even know that was possible. Another turret will come in with the Ziggs satchel charge. That'll be the full outer ring down, plus the inner and top lane. And the gold lead keeps increasing.
It's 6k at 17 minutes. There's a Drake for G2 if they want it, but they want to just keep pushing forward. Satchel charge away. Nature's Grass coming out, will clip Caps. Targamas flashes in with the Twisted Advance, but Caps, they just don't have the damage to get onto him. Caps survives through it. Targamas does not. Broken Blade TP's in. And KC immediately called for the retreat.
The Volibear and the Scion snap engage. First time was the Volibear ultimate under the top lane. Then it's the Scion ult into mid lane. And as quick as you like.
From his enemy jungler, who is the lowest gold apart from Lebrov's support on G2. Broken Blade pushing through mid. KC trying to defend. Vladdy looking for that next item in the top lane. There's a tower there with a bounty on it. He might just try and get a little bit of gold back in his pocket. But there's 2 items apiece on Hans Summer and on Caps. Broken Blade has 2 alongside it. Unstoppable Onslaught. Between the uprights, Karna flashes it. Lebrov looking at Glacial Fissure. Decimating Smash. That's the follow-up. And they just die. KC lose 2 in the blink of an eye.
G2, that was disgusting. Blink and you miss it. 2 dead from KC. And the base comes crumbling down.
On the bottom side, they have an 8,000 gold lead 20 minutes into the game. Lebrov's going to try and keep Yike at bay. Maybe he can steal. TP coming in from Vladdy. The curtains open. Will there be an encore for KC, or is the show over? Curtain pull. Hans Summer flashes away. Vladdy stand up. Hans Summer lives through it, but dies afterwards. Vladdy still going on to Skewmond here. The flash away from Skewmond has the blast code. Broken Blade on the wrong side of the wall. Lebrov trying to retreat from Yike. Skewmond will be able to get away. Caps opens up onto Targamas. Lebrov coming back to rejoin with his team in the end. G2 do lose their AD carry just to Vladdy. But they won't lose much more. Karna stayed around. Thought he could find something. Broken Blade will chase him out. Will G2 continue to chase in? Karna avoids the knock up there from Broken Blade by knocking him back. And in the end, G2 will call off any further fight of some sort of semblance of quiet, some semblance of peace, or as much peace as you can find when you are 7,000
Well, they just continue. It's incredible snowball they've done this game.
I talked about possible sneaky wards. There's one just outside the Baron pit there for KC. Put a control ward in themselves. They do have a little bit of vision on G2 if they did decide to start up the big purple worm. Broken Blade just clearing out the mid wave. Hans Summer's going to be given all of this gold, building up towards his own Infinity Edge, quite possibly, with the Kraken and the Runelands already complete. Broken Blade, now this is a bit of a choke point. Broken Blade can tank for a while. Skewmon can look for the engage. Gets shock blasted, doesn't take too much of his health and walks away. G2 playing around vision more than anything else. They're not really looking for a fight. If one offers itself into their open hands, they'll happily take it, but They don't need the battle right now. They just want to get that vision control down.
And I think particularly Skumon does actually need to still play realistically. He can get burst out. The Volibear is not a hyper tank. That's an ult onto Caps. Just
Satchel
missing.
charges away from the Glacial Prison. There's no tower here to save him. TP comes out. The smite from Yike for the slow. Skumon on the chase. Flashes forward, looking for the fight, and Kana able to escape for now, but the unstoppable onslaught will find him. Decimating Splash for the follow-up. Yike flashing away. Arctic Assault. Storm comes down upon his head. A Tempest, and its name is G2. The Baron now in their eyes.
The Freljord face-off goes the way of Skumon. G2 jungler against ex-G2 jungler. G2 go towards the Baron. No smite on the other side. And KC, they've got themselves one kill in this game, folks. They have been well and truly shut out. G2 domination here in game 4. KC have barely seen daylight.
It's 9,000 gold lead at 27 minutes. It's only going to extend as they take this Baron up to 10k. And for KC, that's a long... said ban Volibear.
Ban Volibear?
Apparently that's what you need to do. 40 seconds before Cloud Soul available to G2. Unstoppable Onslaught coming in again as they go for Kana. Exhaust him immediately. The chase from Caps, the Satchel charge, and the Glacial Fissure makes Kana meet his maker. Broken Blade distracting the rest of KC. As now, once again, they have to defend in a 4v5. G2 are going to go down towards the bottom side, just try and crack through that inhibitor.
G2 have just started as they meant to go on. They started by killing Kana, and they have made a habit of it in this game. Kana, so important to KC, has not been given room to breathe. G2 pushing through the bot side, crack the inhib, and the base is broken once again for KC.
Yeah, Broken Blade can shepherd in this next set of minions, but Skumon has the wave in the mid lane, looks for the stun onto Yike, does land it, curtains open. From the Jin, hits a couple on the Broken Blade, but the Mega Inferno Bomb takes half his health, and now an Unbreakable is up from Lebrov. Caps will take the last shot into a Deadly Flourish. Perhaps they can find something here. Stormbringer away, defensive. Nature's Grasp gets a couple of roots, but Vladdy too low to get in. TP behind Kana. He's going to try a 1v5, or maybe just try and escape, as G2 not unhealthy enough for them to take it. Targamas knocked up with a Decimating Smash. Skumon already on the Drake here. Oh! Broken Blade just slams a train into the tree. He's a lumberjack. A bit of a struggle, boss. G2 now pushing through the top side, have the Cloud Soul at their backs, ushering them forward towards their Nexus. Unstoppable Onslaught again. He finds Vladdy, not with a knockup. Vladdy has to flash away. Yike towards the bottom side. Lebrov gonna get hit with Glacial Prison, but Mikhail's himself there that has the cleanse effect from the Summoner Spellbook. And Yike just trying to clear out a bit of vision on the side. The ultimates, only one invest
fight.
Yeah, just haven't been able to find really anything in this game, KC. 1 kill, 2 towers, and a Drake as G2 were swapping towards the top side. Now, though, March continues for G2. Looking at another Worlds qualification. KC, they still have more opportunities after this. Play up against Vitality, trying to get back to Madrid. Skumon's going to get the stun onto Yike. KC still trying to defend. The last breaths of life still in their lungs, in their bodies. Glacial Prison onto Skumon, but there's the Mikhail's coming out. Nature's Grass used as well. Yike falling low. Lebron's already killed up Targamas, and Kalista and Vladdy were caught. The exhaust onto Vladdy, stunned underneath the fountain. He's going to be healed up enough, but the Nexus is bare and open. There are 3 inevitabilities in the LEC. Death, taxes, and G2 making worlds.